Here we have a new 2023 Toyota 4Runner. This one comes in the limited trim level with the V6 4-wheel drive. Blizzard Pearl is this paint color. And then we have the black soft text interior. The powertrain consists of a 270 horsepower, 4-liter V6 engine, made it to a 5-speed automatic transmission. We get 278 pound-feet of torque with that. And as we come around to the front end here, LED headlamps, LED fog lights. Of course, this body style has been around for quite some time, just with minor updates and tweaks along the way, but still looks good. I know a lot of people that still want to have one of these, so. But down here we have the 20-inch alloy wheels. We have passive keyless entry on the front 2 doors. One-touch automatic up and down windows on all 4 doors. Power door lock control, rear window lock here. Memory seat functions there, just hit set and press the number you want to set it to, and then the recall, just hit the number by itself. Bottle holders here, map pocket. Power mirror controls are here. You can pick a side, left or right, offset in the middle, and then adjust there. Gauge cluster brightness. Auto high beams. You can toggle your camera view there. I'll show you that in a minute. And then we have the windshield deicer. Hood release. We have a foot pedal brake. Parking brake, excuse me. And then here's the release. We can go ahead and tilt our steering wheel there. And then there's our power driver's seat, 2-way power lumbar support. But I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. Let's go ahead and check out this leg room back here. So sitting behind myself, not bad space. I feel like headroom, just how high these seats are, is being kind of taken away from, but I mean, I still have several inches of headroom for someone my size. And again, that's my leg room there. And then I can recline it back here if I want to, which may or may not help depending on what your issue is in terms of the leg room. But seat back pockets on both sides, rear AC vents. We have 2 USB-C ports back here, which is surprising. And there's a view of the front from back here. And then we can fold down this middle seat. Bottle holders are there in the middle. Then a grab handle here where we can hang 2 plastic hangers or maybe a few metal hanger hooks there. But we're gonna go ahead and make our way towards the back. Gas caps there. And I like the overall styling of the back as we get around here, even though that's pretty much not been touched as well. Those minor updates just have made it look really modern and almost kind of retro, I think. Now here's the space behind the second row here. There's a third row that comes in here, but it's folded down. So that was like a $1,400 option, I think, to get this third row. But this has the all-weather floor mat, so that's in the way there. There's a 120 volt 3-prong, 12 volt storage. And this is for your third row passengers. And I'm gonna try and show you all this because I don't wanna do a disservice by not showing the third row. Let's see if we can get this seat up. So we'll do that and then I'll put this back afterwards, because I want you all to see at least what you're getting with this particular trim level with the added third row. So with the third row up, of course your seating is going to be, or your space behind the third row is going to be pretty diminished with it being folded up, but you still have a little bit of space, especially on the sides there. It's a tow hitch, spare underneath. Let's go ahead and fold this down. And then this does come with the roof rack crossbars. I think that's a $185 option, which that's about as cheap as getting them on Amazon. So you might just want to get them from the factory. Or you can pull the seat up there if you want to get to the third row easy. And then you can also just Let me get this all the way back first. You can fold this flat there for even more usability. And I like how this is set up because you can also tilt it from there to there. And it's quite a bit of space between the main position and then the recline position. Then we have our seat belt anchors. Where are those? Those are behind here. So they're kind of hidden, but if you need those are available to you as well. But huge shout out to John Roberts Toyota for allowing me to review this 4Runner today. We're gonna go over this window sticker really quickly. Y'all can pause anywhere you need to. And there's a sticker price, $54,044. And there is our power front passenger seat. I love the trim here. Just this little thing here makes a world of difference. It just looks like $1 million, I think. Lockable glove compartment here. Pretty good size, fits all the owner's manuals. And Toyota tends to include a lot of them. Background to the front end. It's that hood release. And it's covered up. There's a 4-liter naturally aspirated V6 underneath there. Again, being paired with that 5-speed automatic. But let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat here. So, nice leather wrap steering wheel here. Feels good. There's the horn. Now I have this camera view set up there. What I pressed earlier, y'all can see that now. Those curbside views. Now back to the actual radio. We get AM, FM, and we also have XM radio with Bluetooth audio, and then you have the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility as well. And I'm not 100% on the Android Auto, but I'm thinking it has that. But just double check if you're in the market. Navigation systems here, you can zoom in or out. Apps are here, including that Wi-Fi hotspot. And then if you want to pair your phone, hit that, walks you right through it. It'll basically search for your phone. And if you can't find it, you can register from the phone. And then here, we can go through and turn the beep off, set our language, and then our units of measurement are down here if you want to fool with that. So quite a few options that you can go through if you want to fool with any of this again. But backup cameras here, you do get a 360 view as well, which is nice. But no guidelines that follow as you turn the steering wheel. That's kind of surprising. Even though this is a dated 4Runner body, I'd expect that here in terms of technology. But with this JBL sound system, I'm gonna let that one slide. And the clock's there, if you could see it. You just set your hours and minutes there. It's pretty easy to do. I like that simplicity of it, excuse me. Down here, dual zone automatic climate controls. We can toggle the auto there and then cut the auto off by adjusting the fan speed. We can set the dual there, cut that on or off, or just adjust that right side temperature, and we can cut the whole system off here. Down here we have USB-A, a 12 volt, and then we get heated and cooled seats for the driver and front passenger. 4-wheel drive controls are here, bottle holder there. And then the shifter has that same beautiful trim that we see up here. Now for that 5-speed, just pull down, reverse, neutral, drive. Then you come over here, you can manually shift from the shifter. And then I love this feature here for that sliding rear window, which you may or may not be able to see with that glare. Second bottle holder there, by the way. And then our center console cubby space, decent size. There's a 12 volt in there. And then we have the garage door transmitter, some of the four-wheel drive controls there, or the off-road controls, excuse me. And then we have sunglasses holders. See if I can get these lights on. There's that there. And then for the sunroof, those controls are there. So you can either tilt or slide it. So we can one-touch slide that back. And then hit it a second time, it'll go a little bit further. And then the sunshade here, you just pull that, matches the headliner. Now back to the steering wheel. Blinkers are behind here. Headlamps, auto, fog light toggle there, high beams. Then we can flash there. And then on the right side, we have the windshield wiper control. So one time, off, intermittent, low, high. We can adjust the intermittent wipers here, and then our rear wipers here, intermittent on, and then pull either way there for the rear wiper fluid, and then just pull up here for the front wiper fluid. Now this mode button you can use to go through the audio sources, and then you can hold it to mute. And then voice recognition, you can go through the track list, radio station presets, or adjust volume here. And then Bluetooth buttons are there. And then we have the gap adjust for the radar cruise that can be adjusted there, the lane departure system. And then behind here with the radar cruise, we can turn that on or off. And then you can hold it if you want to go on a regular cruise, and then just set there, cancel that way. And then our heated steering wheel toggle is there. But up here, we can go ahead and use these 4 arrows, and then this goes to our sub menus, and we can, or this goes to the main menu, excuse me, and we can go through the sub menus by scrolling through using these arrows, and then this is like an enter button here. So quite a bit that you can adjust. Pretty self-explanatory, I think, though. You can figure that out. Nothing I have to necessarily go in depth with, but you can click here for the trip meters, and then that'll show the odometer there. Push button start. And then we have the key fob here. Next, let's go ahead and take this 2023 4Runner out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this 4Runner Limited, the V6, it puts out pretty good power. Not what I'm used to here, and especially with this 5-speed automatic, I guess I'm just used to vehicles doing more. But I mean, this is the tried and true powertrain. That's why people still love these. That's why Toyota hasn't fooled with them. Reliability is like the old Tundras before they put those twin turbo V6s in them. They're thirsty, but they're reliable. Now, I do think the price, before I even get into that, I want to address that, because I just find it interesting that this is this much money and you're not having to really, I mean, the safety tech is there, but the radio is pretty dated. The JBL sound system, it sounds good, but I'm assuming that's an older system as well. And then heated cooled seats are nice, the sunroof's nice, but a lot of this stuff usually justifies having the raise of prices. So if you redo a vehicle and add all this extra safety tech standard, a lot of the times you can be like, oh, okay, I see why the price went up $1,500. But here I'm just thinking, what's changed, or have these always been this expensive? But regardless, if you're in the market for a 4Runner, it's about what you can expect to pay for something that's as durable and as capable as this is. And I will say, in terms of the interior, I'll double check that, and I'll put in the description whether it has the soft text or the actual leather in it. But the soft text is so good, I can never tell if I'm sitting on real leather in a Toyota or if it's a soft text trim unless I look it up. Because this feels like real leather. It feels very nice. It's heated and cooled. But if it's soft text, I wouldn't be surprised. But I mean, in terms of ride quality, pretty good. And again, I mean, I'm not gonna find anything that's out of the ordinary. That's why they have not redone this or given it an actual refresh in almost 10 years. Or I guess a redesign would be a better word. It's been refreshed a couple of times slightly. But again, with this powertrain, you still have that same trusty 4-liter V6 that's been around for years, the 5-speed automatic. And these are just meant to go off-road. They're meant to last forever. 4-wheel drive system does a good job. That's why you see these with 200,000 miles and then they're on the 12th owner and all this extra stuff has been done to it that the original owner didn't think of doing. Because these things can handle it. Whatever you throw at them, 9 times out of 10, it can take it. But I do like the space from the driver's seat. Even with the sunroof, I have an inch or two of headroom. The seat's wide enough for my wider stature. Visibility is pretty good, and I think that's another reason that these sell so well is a lot of the times they're not bought for what they're intended to be. People just like 4Runners. My girlfriend loves a 4Runner. She would never take a 4Runner off the road though. But she likes it, and that's one of the big things here is just the visibility. And a lot of people, you know, people are simple. So we still have buttons and knobs here. It's pretty easy to use this system. Nice big lights, or nice big buttons for the AC controls that light up when you hit a certain one. And not a bunch of stuff that might confuse you as you're driving down the road. Now the brake pedals have always been kind of iffy to me. They tend to be a bit squishy, but again, something that you come to appreciate about the 4Runners. It's not necessarily dangerously squishy, but it's almost like driving a stick. You get used to the pedal, and especially if you're off-roading, it comes in handy. Now I'm not flooring it by any means, but I am putting my foot down, and with it just only having 5 gears, it doesn't necessarily like to shift as much as, let's say, the newer 6-speed, 8-speed, 10-speed automatics do. But with these 20-inch alloy wheels, even with all of that weight, the bigger wheels, ride quality doesn't seem to suffer. And road noise is honestly not noticeable for me compared to having smaller wheels on this thing. Now with it just having the standard lane departure system, you're not getting the lane tracing assistant like you do in pretty much every other Toyota now, because those have all been at least moderately refreshed. I mean, it's nice to have the radar cruise still. I'd like to pull up the fuel economy. So right now we're getting around 22, 20, maybe even closer to 28 miles per gallon here. We're cruising at 70 again, 72. So not bad there. But specifically with the third row, I think this can be a pretty capable SUV, whether you want to take it off-road or if you want to have a cool soccer mom vehicle without having to get a minivan. I think 55 is getting up there for something like this, but again, for people that love these, that's about what you're paying for anything else similar, so no big deal. Again, I just want something that looks like I paid 55 grand for this new, and not something that looks like it's 10 years old. But Toyota's got that game on lock for the most part. And it definitely did when it didn't refresh the Tundra or Sequoia for almost 15 years. Might have been a little over 15 years to think about it. But you know what? No biggie. People still love their naturally aspirated engines when it comes to reliability. And I think this will stand the test of time until whenever Toyota decides, hey, we're gonna refresh this. So might be next year, might be next 5 years, we'll see. But this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2023 Toyota 4Runner in the limited trim level.